All right, we're at the motivating end of a 1969 Camaro. This thing is very, very well done. Try to point out everything I can because it's going to take a little bit on this guy. Somebody spent a lot of time putting this guy together. According to what we know, it is definitely a small block Chevy, I can tell you that for sure, but according to what we know, it is a 383 stroker. It has an Edelbrock Victor Jr. air gap intake manifold on it. It has a Carter AFB carburetor, Edelbrock carburetor, 14-inch unsilenced air cleaner. It has a set of welded up tall aluminum valve pan covers, probably because it has a nice set of 1.65 roller rockers on it, which I don't know for sure. I've never checked the ratio, but I'm going to guess the way this motor's done, it does. It has a set of angle plug aluminum heads on it. Big dollar set of heads here. It has a custom vibration damper on the front of it. All billet aluminum drive wheels in the front of it on the water pump, on the power steering pump, which does have power steering. Also on the vibration dampener and on the chrome plated alternator that's on it. This car also has air conditioning in it. It's a polished modern air conditioning compressor. You can see all the lines on this thing, the majority of the lines anyway, are braided stainless lines. Functional air conditioning, but it also has functional heat that goes to the passenger compartment, so it still retains its heat in case this goes to one of the northern communities. It has high silicone plug wires on it. It has chrome fender strut bracing here. It has a billet aluminum distributor in it, an MSD system with an MSD box also on it, and I believe it's an MSD coil also. The aluminum radiator, high flow, huge fan behind it, electric fan, as opposed to the mechanical unit. Jesus, all new bushings everywhere. The top of the A-arms, I can see your bushings and shafts are all absolutely brand new. New body mount bushings in the front. Absolutely new air conditioning condenser also. The hoses are the correct style hoses, top and bottom for this vehicle. Headers are ceramic coated. I'm going to call them 1 3/4. They may be 1 7/8. It's really hard to distinguish the two, or differentiate the two, but for sure it's a set of bigger tube headers for this guy. 383s like to breathe a little better than a 350 does. Again, these aluminum heads, I don't know the manufacturer of them, but they are an angle plug aluminum head, so you know that this was put together as a definite serious engine. It has power disc brakes, new chrome vacuum booster on it, a brand spanking new dual stage master cylinder on it. I don't see anything on this thing that isn't absolutely stunning. As opposed to painting the inner fender wells black, semi-flat black like they came from the factory, this guy chose to paint them the color of the car. It's an orangish red color. It's a really attractive color. Underneath the hood is flat black, just the way it was. It is a cowl induction hood too, and if you chose, you could put a cowl induction system on this. You know, the bigger air cleaner that seals up to this area, and you would have a functional cowl induction system on it if you chose to do so. New windshield wiper motor. It's an X11 car. It does have a nice, clear, legible cowl tag on it that very, very legible. Devin will have a picture of that for you. Core support in this car is totally undisrupted. Again, it's painted orangish red as opposed to semi-flat black the way it would have come from the factory. Everything under this engine compartment here, in this engine compartment, is just as fresh and clean and well prepared as you could ever hope. I mean, it's absolute show quality material here. Strong motor. There's no doubt in our mind that it is a 383 without pulling it down and checking the bore-stroke ratio. There's no way we can definitively tell, but that's what we're told it is. Fantastic engine, great engine compartment. That guy's making some serious ponies to push this thing as fast as you want to go with it. It's a nice car. We're going to go around the rest of it for you now. Hi, you're at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida, and we've got a really neat toy for you again today. This thing's another 1969 Camaro. I think we've got about, just a rough guess, 4 or 5 of them now, maybe more than that even, you know, but this guy's kind of special. It's 383 stroker. It's a great color combination. It's like it's red, but it has kind of an orangish tint to it. I don't know if it's a GM color or not. Whatever it is, it's outstandingly gorgeous. So let's go over it. Obviously, it's got the black stripes on a cowl induction hood, steel hood, not fiberglass. Look at the fitment here. The hood to the cowl, to the front fender, to the header panel in the front. This is as nice a fitment as you'll ever get. Camaro designation on it. A gap the whole way around this thing is 1/8 of an inch. You can see that in Doug's video here, but he's going to also have high resolution photos to show you the same thing. It's got 1/8 of an inch the whole way to the fender, just the way it should be. The paint on this thing is not driver quality. It's much better than a driver quality paint job. It's knocking on the door of being a real show quality paint. It's very, very attractive. Aftermarket high intensity headlamps in this guy. SS designation on the front. Trim around the grill, and the plastic grill itself has no windows missing whatsoever in it. Flat black along the bottom really gives it a nice pop. Front bumper. That one is right on the money also. We've been really lucking out. Most of the cars we've been getting lately have really been spot on as far as fitment goes with the front bumpers. Of course, it does have a front spoiler. You know, if they don't have them, we put them on. All 67, 8, and 9 Camaros, we just make sure they have a front spoiler on them. The parking lights in the front are nice and clean and clear. The front valance has no pulls or marks whatsoever on it. There are no brush marks or anything or dents in this front bumper. Absolutely none. This hood could go down just a little bit. It's loose. See? So we got to tighten that up a little bit. That's no big deal. Gives me something to do this afternoon. That's the front end of the car, and you're not going to find a straighter one, a nicer one, a better painted one, fit, finish, everything on the car is just very exemplary. Let's go down the side. Okay, driver's side of our 69 Camaro. Side marker light in the front here. There's no patina whatsoever on it, absolutely as new. Where the fender transitions onto the front fascia, perfect fitment, absolutely gorgeous. Fender lip. I always get a kick out of this because you can't dent the fender lip without taking a big chunk out of the side of the body, so it definitely has no marks on it. Again, the hook could go down just a hair, but we're going to take care of that. Correct wiper arms and blades on the car. Front trim around the window is as nice as you'd ever want to find. Tinted window in the front, sunshade fade on top. Where the dashboard transitions onto the windshield itself, just as clean and fresh as you'd ever hope to find one. The padded part of the dashboard is new. You can see it has no deviations or warps or cracks whatsoever in it. Well, the roof obviously is going to be flawless, which it is. There's no marks whatsoever. The paint looks like it's that deep on this car. Front fender to door to the rocker, 383 stroker. Correct style GM mirror on it. Drip rail, no marks, no dingies. It's either tinted. It has a little bit darker tint than it should be, but it is tinted glass on the side of the vehicle. The wipes, whiskers, just as fresh a fitment and nice and clean as you could ever hope to find. Front window to the rear window fitment, very, very nice. This is nice and clean too, without any patina or marks whatsoever on it. Door handle, chrome is as new. No marks, no chips, no dingies whatsoever at this point yet. Door fitment, flawless. Look, it can't be any better than that. It's another thing we don't have to adjust is that door. It does not have the added chrome pieces here, the gills if you want to call them. Looks a little cleaner without them actually. Fender lip molding is same as it was on the front. Again, this marker light is just as fresh and clean as you'd ever want to find too. tin. Nice sharp edges both on the bottoms of the quarter and in the fender lips. These haven't been cut or modified or anything for tire clearance. They have a lot of originality to it. It's a nice looking set aside of this car. It's just as nice as you'd ever hope to find. Got a set of 15-inch rallies on it. BFG tires, white letter, everybody's choice of a tire in today's world for muscle cars. Great looking car down the side. There's really nothing on the front or the side here that you could pick at. The fitment is just as nice as you ever want. One little tiny, adjustment on the hood and the very nose of it, and that's it. Let's see what we got out back. Okay, the rear section of our 69 Camaro. Again, you can see the fitment here, just as nice as you'd ever want to find. About a quarter of an inch, about an eighth of an inch the whole way around it. Again, the stripes and the paint on the back of this thing are just as it was in the front. It's nice and clean and fresh as you'd ever hope to find. The spoiler fits just as it should. This has to go down a little bit. That needs adjusted to pull it down some, just like the front needs to be done just a little bit, but we're going to take care of that. Semi-flat black, the way an SS is in the back in 69. Nice clear lenses, nice trim around the tail light lenses themselves. Bumper fitment. Very nice. Very nice. A little tiny bit closer on that side than that side, but again, well within, production specs. We'll probably just leave it alone because you can't really notice it anyway. And what are we going to do? Move it an eighth of an inch? Chrome on the bumper, just as sweet as you'd ever hope to find. It was absolutely flawless. No dents or marks or dinghies from anyone backing into it. Rear valance. No marks or pulls or anything on it. The little bumperettes hanging down, the chrome on them is just absolutely as fresh as the bumper. Just really nice and clean. Instead of straight pipes out the back, this guy chose 2 turn-down slash cuts. A little bit different than it would be from factory, but really a nice set of pipes. Looks like about a 2.5-inch pipe coming out the back. Nice looking system on it, real nice. Gives it a nice, a little bit different than stock, but really a nice look to it with those slash cuts coming down at an angle. One more side. Okay, passenger side, our last side here. Side marker light, just like the other two, absolutely flawless. Could not possibly be any better. Tin. There's tin everywhere. Neglected to mention on the other side, and you can see that there are no marks on it. The trim around the back light is just as fresh and clean as you'd ever hope to find. Again, the roof and the sail panels, just nice fitment. The trim around this back is just, I can't even get my fingernail in between the body and the trim piece. The hatch shelf, looking down into it, it has 2 aftermarket speakers in it. Look like a pretty high-grade speaker, whatever they are, I can't really tell. But the hatch shelf itself is very nice. It's been replaced. The associated trim and pieces around it are nice and tight and well fitted yet. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are deteriorated. This person has chosen to go ahead and fit everything up just the way it was when it left the factory. Again, our wheel lip molding, just as nice as you could ever hope to find. Drip rail is flawless, both sides. Both sides are absolutely flawless. Again, our tinted glass window. Nice fitment, look at this. How much better can it possibly get than that? Wife's whiskers, you can't even get your fingernail under it. That's how well this is fitted. The stainless, flat stainless piece that transitions onto the painted area of the door. Same thing here. The mirror on this side to match the other side. Absolute flawless chrome on the door handle. The door to the quarter panel cannot fit any better than it does. Same thing for the front here. 383 stroker. Really nice fitment here. Look. Little lip in the right front. Side marker light, that's 4 for 4. Absolutely no patina, no deterioration whatsoever. Absolutely none. Just went over the whole car. You just watch me do it. I didn't find one single stone chip, scratch, or mark in it. An adjustment on the hood and the very nose just to pull it down some. And the same thing with that deck lid. Deck lid's probably a little loose now because they put fresh rubbers on it. All the rubbers have been replaced, seals. And a lot of times after they compress, you get a little bit of movement in the deck lid. Of course, there's no seal on the front of this. That just needs adjusted from being open and closed a zillion times. But the entire car, you just watch me go around it. No stone chips, no marks, no scratches. Nice fitment everywhere, everywhere. 15-inch rallies, BFG, white letters, great color combination, 383 stroker, tinted glass. I don't know, what else is there in life? That's a fantastic car. 69 Camaros are pretty much everyone's favorite. 7, 8s, and 9s, everyone loves them, but 69 always being the one that comes out on top as far as preference goes. They're a little tiny bit bigger, a little bit wider, a little bit different amenities to it, different interiors, dashboard, and everything. But at any rate, this guy is as nice a 69 as you're ever going to find. We're going to do an interior presentation for you. It's down here at Hangsters in Daytona Beach, Florida. And we encourage everybody to come down, put their hands on this thing the same way I just did, so you know exactly what you got. You can take the car for a ride, you can put it up on a rack, you can spend all day playing with it, so you know exactly what your dollars are buying you. This is a very high-grade car, a very nice car, and someone spent a lot of time and money to put it to that point. That engine especially, there's a lot of money in that motor. You have to come down to Hangsters and take a look at it, but if you can't, that's why you're going to see Devin's 90 photos and our presentation that we just gave so that you can make a decision on what you want to do. You know, you might not want to buy this one if you came down. You might buy that orange one over there, or you might buy that black convertible. You don't know, you know, so you want to come down and take a look at this, if you can. If you can't, that's why we're doing this for you. Okay, this is the interior of our 1969 Camaro SS style car, the red one with the black stripes. Fantastic, fantastic car. Nice tight headliner with a operating dome light. Again, the dashboard from outside looked good. It even looks better from here. This is all nice and fresh and recently replaced. Air conditioning vents in the dashboard where they belong. Also, your Astro ventilation is still functional. It has a set of aftermarket speakers in the kick panels and an aftermarket GM radio with the bow tie on it, but they didn't take and hack the dashboard out to put that radio in. It's housed in its original place with the two knobs and the rectangular hole in it, instead of trying to hack it out and put a CD player in it. Speedometer, nice and clean and clear. Fuel gauge, it does not have the factory instrumentation, but it does have a trio of aftermarket gauges underneath it. It has oil pressure, water temperature, and volt. And all three of those are kind of match the dashboard gauges themselves. Wood on the dash is nice and clean and clear. Glove compartment. I'm trying to open it, it must be locked. Must be locked. Sun visors, stitching on them is nice and tight, and they're nicely padded just the way they should be. Original day-night mirror, and there's no milkiness that I can absolutely no milkiness whatsoever on it, and it is the correct style day-night mirror also. Aftermarket steering wheel, SS designation in the center of it with a horn that works. The door panels in the front are the correct molded style panels for the deluxe interior that this car has. It does have the houndstooth interior in it. Really a nice upgrade, the highest grade interior you could buy. It does have the factory headrests on it yet. Grab rail on the front like an SS would have. Loop pile carpeting, all fresh and clean just like it should have. A Camaro designated floor mats. Has the trim around the brake, gas, and parking brake pedals, stainless steel. Back seat, front seat, both of them very well padded. Someone has done an exemplary job of putting this interior back together again. It does have fresh window cranks in the back and in the front. The has an aftermarket center console in it. It does not have a factory console, but it has a nice armrest center console that has two, a smaller one and a bigger one, for your coffee, tea, Pepsi, whatever. Seat belts in the back, seat belts in the front, shoulder belts actually in the front. I don't see anything in the interior of this car at all that's out of place. Absolutely nothing. Everything in the interior of this car is as fresh as you could ever hope to find. The trim on the doors and the carpeting along the bottom is just as nice and fresh as it was when it was new. When you look in the door jambs themselves, the rubbers are nice and fresh and resilient, as are the ones up here where the windows go up and seal against so that no water gets in. The door jambs themselves, like I say, are just crystal clean. They're nice as can be. No funkiness whatsoever in them. It's a really nice car. It's a 383 stroker. I have not driven this car yet. We are going to take it out for a ride and run it through its paces and see how the thing performs for you. And we have an undercarriage video to do also for you yet. But this is the interior, and it is exemplary. It's a houndstooth, deluxe door panels. Everything is as new as when it left the factory in 1969. Fantastic car. Hangsters, Daytona Beach. Take a look at this. It's really nice. All right, 69 Camaro. Speedometer, I'm sure is going to work. The gas gauge does function. It's showing us between a quarter and a half tank of fuel. Turn signal left is functioning as it should. Turn signal right is functioning as it should. And the horn, I'm going to blow a Jeff here. Horn's working as it should. Radio, we'll try it, but I don't have a clue how to operate these things, but Devin knows I don't. Well, there's numbers on it. Oh.
I said that I'm going to demonstrate for you that you're...
Okay, well, we got a radio that works. Oh, let's see. Air conditioning. Air conditioning is important. Well, the compressor's definitely kicking on. Yep, blowing cold. It's definitely blowing cold. Air conditioning is functioning in the car. It's not going to be that hot today. I think it's only going to get to like 110, 120, something like that. But it's not summer yet, but it's going to be 110 anyway today for sure. Temperature just starting to rise on our trio of gauges. The oil pressure holding nice and steady, and the voltmeter showing us about 13.8, just the way it should be. So we're going to go for a ride, see how this guy runs. Motor functioning as it should, going down the road here just as nice as can be. It's not jumping or anything. Look, no hands on the steering wheel. I got to aim it right. No hands on the wheel. It just goes down the road just as straight as you ever want to have it go down the road. I want to put the brakes on, but this guy behind me will get really upset. The car is cold yet. I want to warm up in here. Nice running car. Runs straight. Definitely a high resolution steering box. This guy's, put the brakes on down here at the bank, see how it stops. But it just goes straight as an arrow down the road. Just been running straighter. Real nice, real nice car. Brakes on here for you, see how it stops. No hands straight. Oh, guy's really getting upset with me back there. Stops nice and straight as can be. No pull to the left or right. Nice tight running car. Nice tight steering car. There's about 80. Shut her off there. Definitely a 383 stroker. This is no 350. The car really pulls like a freight train. Runs good, drives good. Down the road straight as an arrow. Temperature coming up, running still nice and chilly. It should be. We got to 180, something like that. It's warmed up. Nice running car. Good, strong running car. No question, this is a 383 stroker. This is not a 350. This is definitely a bigger hammer. Nice tight car. There's not a shake or a shimmy or a squeak or a rattle, nothing in it. Just nice cars you'd ever hope to find. A couple little irregularities here and there, but that's it. You got to adjust that hood in the front. You got to tighten up that rear deck a little bit, and I think that's it. I think you're a go on this one. There's nothing on it that needs done. Nice car, really nice car. Okay, this is the undercarriage of our nice bright red 1969 Camaro SS style car. And I believe it is a real SS, but we do not have documentation, so we're going to present it as an SS style car. But anyway, it's the real deal. Power disc brakes in the front, new rotors, new backing plates, calipers appear to be new, brand spanking new tie rod ends, new sway bar bushings. It does have a heavy sway bar in the front of it. The bottoms of the A-arms are rebushed, so are the top. You can see all new bushings on them. Let's see. Same on this side, new shocks also. The subframes in the front are really nice. A couple little jack marks here and there, but that's it. One little one here. And I can't even find one on that one. Real nice straight. No deterioration whatsoever, no oxidation, rust through the years. Motor has been out and completely freshened up and built to the nth degree. It is a 383 stroker, there's no doubt in my mind. No leaks evident whatsoever at this point. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get one a year or two from now, but there's no drips at all on the engine, the bell housing area, or the deep oil pan that's on it also. The starter is a gear reduction starter. It is wrapped with a high temp isolating material to go ahead and keep the heat from the headers from helping to deteriorate the starter prematurely. They're 1 3/4, maybe a little bit more than that, but I would call them 1 3/4 primary tubes going into a 3-inch collector, going into a 2.5-inch pipe. The oil filter is brand new. It just got changed. Braided stainless lines for the transmission cooling lines that go forward to the high flow aluminum radiator that's in it. The steering box is a new steering box in it with a new pitman arm and idler arm also new. Let's see here. Parking brake hook up and still functional, the original parking brake assembly. Floor pans in the front from here to here appear to have been replaced. They have been replaced. There's an extra section for here. I don't know why they did that, but whenever they incorporated the floor pan assembly, the new one in, apparently they put it in for a 4-speed as opposed to an automatic. But anyway, it's structurally sound. It doesn't suffer any integrity at all. It's as strong as it was when it was new. This section are the original new floor pans. They are the original ones of the years. Original fuel line on this side going toward the back. Original wound brake lines on this side. And again, the pans from this section on down are the original pans. They don't appear to have been disrupted through the years at all. Set of under chassis mufflers, 2.5-inch in and 2.5-inch out. Holy crap, that's pretty good size set of mufflers on it. It says Quiet Flow Muffler SS, Quiet Flow SS. New U-joint in the back, new U-joint in the front, no leaks on the tail shaft assembly itself or the speedometer drive. And you can see everything on this has been reconditioned. It's been done to the nth degree. Even the steering box, which I pointed out, that's a brand new steering box on this thing, and it's a higher ratio box too, I'm sure. Torque boxes in the front here where your multi-leaf springs mount are really nice. They don't suffer any distortion whatsoever or any bending or kinking. The subframes, no marks at all on them, not that I can see. And they transition up over the rear differential that go toward the back of the vehicle. A set of Lakewood style traction bars on it that do have some movement, the rubber dampener, so that it's not locked up solid. Drum brakes in the rear of this vehicle. Air shocks A new set of air shocks on this back of this vehicle, and it does have a stagger system on it. You know, that one's in the back, this one's in the front to help compensate for a torque bias. 12-bolt Chevy rear, heavy-duty rear, no leaks on it either. On the front pinion seal here is just as clean as can be, nor the covering itself on it. You can see it is 12-bolt Chevy rear. This is all indicative of a real SS car. There's no question that that's what this car was. Multi-leaf springs, 12-bolt rear, heavy-duty sway bar, power disc brakes in the front. It's an SS car. The trunk pan appears to be also original. Don't see any places where it's been disrupted through the years. The drop downs in the quarters appear to have been, can't really tell. I think that one has been replaced. This one I'm not sure. I can't see from that miserable sunlight down here, but it appears that it hasn't been replaced. That one appears to be original. This absolutely is going to rattle because it's touching the spring. Same on this side. So when we're driving it, you guys will probably hear a rattle, which obviously we're going to have to compensate for that. We're going to have to send this up to a Daytona converter and have them tweak those pipes a little bit so that they're not touching the leaf springs. Probably after a replacement gas tank. There's not a single mark on this tank. And it appears to have new straps and new isolator pads on it. Springs themselves still retain a nice arch to themselves. It's a nice car. This thing has a lot of originality yet as far as the floor pads, except the section in the front on each side. And the subframes are absolutely as new, front and back. So structurally, this is as sound as can be. A couple little tweaks, you know, that have been addressed. The drop down in the quarter there, and the floor pans in the front. But all the mechanicals are as fresh and new as you would ever hope to find, and high-end too. There's nothing skimped on this car the way it was put together. It has a brand new fresh round of rubber on it also. And again, you can see no leaks on the driveline. Everything is fresh. Everything is fresh on this vehicle. It's a fantastic looking car. It's great condition. It's available in Hanksters and Daytona Beach. And you better take a look at this one. And we got to get done because they're cutting grass and hauling people away and accidents and everything else. There's nothing but noise here today. Take a look at it. Hanksters, Daytona Beach.